Celebrating Black History. Brought to you by McDonald's, Citizens Energy Group, Indiana Funeral Care, Harmon Construction, Eskenazi Health, Barbecue Heaven, Cornerstone Construction, and Bose McKinney Evans.
And you can call it a little known, unknown, I should say, Black history fact. It was called the Green Book. It was a traveler's guide published for black people from the 1930s to the 1960s. It listed locations that were safe for black people to stay, eat, and have fun.
Very important, and historians are racing to track down Indiana's locations and the stories behind them. And tonight, celebrating Black history, News 8's multicultural reporter Katira Winfrey takes a look back in time. This is so important, Katira.
It's so important, and in the 3 decades that it was in circulation, nearly 200 places in Indiana are listed in the Green Book, but many of them are no longer standing and also lost to history. So the Department of Natural Resource Division of Historic Preservation and Archaeology is leading efforts to find what's left in Indiana.
America was a difficult place for Black and African Americans when Sandra Branch was growing up in the 1950s and 60s. But at the time, she didn't know just how difficult. Her parents tried to keep much of it from her.
That's all I knew. My mom would fry chicken, she'd boil eggs, she'd have bread and snacks.
Taking family road trips back down south from Indiana would start bright and early. There was no stopping for food or even to use the restroom.
And that was just the way it was.
Her story of traveling while Black isn't just her own. It's the story of countless others, many utilizing the Green Book, a traveler's guide to show Black people the safe places to stop while traveling. And safety was key at a time where you stopped mattered.
A lot of African Americans traveling across the country couldn't stay in the hotels, couldn't get gas at certain gas stations because they wouldn't be served.
Jeannie Regan-Dinius works with the Division of Historic Preservation and Archaeology. Maddie Helmick has been doing a lot of the legwork. They are tracking down those safe places.
The photos here are of Fox Lake Resort, and this was a African American resort.
Indiana had its share stretching from the 30s to the 60s, places like hotels, restaurants, hair salons, many along Indiana and Senate Avenues.
My favorite part has been finding out who these business owners were. Was it a family-owned business?
The hope now, get the ones still standing on the National Register of Historic Places.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these, the buildings are gone. They've been demolished for a variety of reasons.
Branch says only in recent years did she find out about Green Books.
I just decided to check and see if I could find it. And here's my copy.
An avid history and genealogy buff, she lost both parents decades ago, so now she can only wonder if her parents ever used such a book.
And the DNR hopes to start heading out in the spring and summer to visit some of the locations. But in the meantime, they ask you to check your attics, look into your family history. Your information could help us hold on to this part of history. Reporting in the studio, I'm with TV News 8's multicultural reporter, Katira Winfrey.